Right now, I'm standing before the Cabinet Hall. The Cabinet Hall happens to be the supreme decision making body. And you can just sense the very fragrance of the smell. And this is being coming from these sandalwood doors. The Cabinet Hall has been decorated by the sandalwood doors, and it happens to be a third attraction in Vidhana Soudha. You can see the sandalwood doors where it has been intricately designed. The floral designs being one of the classical architecture being done by the gudigars of shimoga. And this is a huge sandalwood door, and this leads to the cabinet hall. Especially the cabinet hall happens to be the core decision-making body of the executive. And once in every Thursday, this cabinet meets and major decisions have been taken here in Karnataka. It may be all the welfare projects or it may be the expenditure, or it may be the approval of the bill, or it may be anything under this domain. The most of the policy taking decisions will be done here. And this cabinet meeting will be chaired by the Honorable Chief Minister along with the cabinet ministers. And in cabinet ministers, inside the cabinet, if you go, we see an oval-shaped chair wherein the Honorable Chief Minister will sit facing to the eastwards direction. He will be assisted by an entire bunch of the officials, particularly which has been headed by the Honorable Chief Secretary. And he will be on right side and the left side. He will be accompanied with all his cabinet colleagues, and wherein say around 30 to 50 subjects will come at per cabinet meeting. And all the issues will be discussed in length and breadth, and this will be approved, and finally the cabinet decisions takes place. Thereby, the cabinet hall happens to be the central fulcrum of the activity, and this is Gnan Shekhar reporting for Nashiman.
Namaskara and hello to everyone. Right now I'm standing at a place where I can sense the sandalwood smell. Can you all guess where am I right now? I am sure some of you will be right. I am at the Cabinet Hall of the Vidhana Soudha, where you can see at the background we have two sandalwood big doors. A lot of carving is done on that, and the designs are there, and a different kind of intrinsic carving done by the gudigars of shimoga. So we are thankful to the shimoga people. So on this behalf, this is a small clip which is dedicated to our second CM Shri Kengal Hanumantayaji. So right now I am Vasanta Kavita. And we have Kavita, who is from Rajya Dharma, editor of Rajya Dharma, and Mr. Gnan Shekhar, who is going to produce this a small clipping. So now you can actually the inside, what are the important things in inside are you have silver items, you have the ivory carvings done, and chairs which is there from the history from the first CMs. This important chair is also there who have sat on that, and a lot of important things. And this is the main important place where anything in the Vidhana Soudha Cabinet Hall, where all the cabinet ministers sit and discuss very important issues or very significant issues, and then pass it to the assembly. So hence Mr. Gnan Shekhar will take over.
Now I am here just before the Cabinet Hall. This happens to be one of the major attractions in Vidhana Soudha. This cabinet hall, if you see behind, it is beautifully a teakwood as well as a rose combination. If you see the very designs, which has been the Mycenaean art, where in the sense, the intricate designs have been done beautifully. When you go to the sandalwood, this happens to be what is a sandalwood. It is a sandalwood doors, where you see the intricate designs, especially a smaller intricate designs. This has been done by the gudigars of shimoga, if I am right. And thereby, this is an entrance. This is the very entrance of the cabinet hall. And cabinet happens to be the cabinet composes of the cabinet composes of an oval-shaped chair, wherein almost 33 ministers can sit. And in between, the chief minister will be assisted with the chief secretary also. Apart from that, the cabinet happens to be one of the most policy-making, decision-making body. And not only that, it even gets the approval of the bill. And apart from that, the control over the finances. And more or less, the cabinet consists of cabinet ministers, the ministers of state, ministers of states. And however, the cabinet is a small body, where it is a collective responsibility, and where it is directly responsible for the legislature. And however, the cabinet can be vetoed by the Honorable Chief Minister. The Chief Minister will chair the cabinet meeting, especially in Karnataka. Every Thursday, the cabinet meeting is held. And thereby, many of the government policies, and it is in the governmental order, many of the promulgations, many of the ordinances, many of the programs, the financial allocations for the bigger projects. There are several welfare projects that has been taken by our government, as it has been promised in the manifesto. And thereby, this cabinet meeting will be held once a week, especially on Thursday, and many of the major decisions have been taken. And this, under the rediscovery of Vidhana Soudha, this happens to be one of the major attractions. This is Gnan Shekhar reporting for Nashiman.